Hello there, everybody. Happy Tuesday. My name is Jenna O'Malley. I am your soul writer, author of sci-fi fantasy with dashes of romance and nerdy references, alongside the wild, crazy, odd stories my characters weave throughout time and space. I help everybody like you get back to Phoenix mode through doing stuff like this. So welcome to and Ask the Editor Anything in honor of Preptober. Let's go ahead and edit our Preptober stuff, our pre-writing stuff. I put out a Double Down Day vlog from the Heart Breathings writing community Double Down Day I hosted for yesterday that got me prepped to do what I'm going to do in the background today. I'm synthesizing stuff together as part of my editing. What does that mean? I'm taking two documents. I'm learning some way to make them one, going from physical to virtual. What's everybody else doing? How's it going? How's your Preptober doing and going? And we'll say hello a little bit in chat, and then we'll talk about the patterning of what we're doing tonight. So, Mel's here. Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. How's everything going for everyone? Jess is also here, and all the me's. Everyone's here to get some Preptober things going, including Rita, who I hear tell is launching a YouTube channel here at the end of the month. Check out soon. Yes, this is a live one. So if you haven't checked out, Miranda Magic, I hear tell, is getting a live YouTube channel in the near future. So about this live one, how is this one a little different? I've been wanting to do these Ask the Editor Anythings off and on, like once or twice a month. I'm trying to separate them from sprints because we do a lot of writerly things during sprints. I don't think we get a lot of time to make time for purposeful editing. And in my opinion, editing can be on anything. Again, I'm editing my outline today, basically, to get prepared for something. So that's why I wanted to offer some time during Preptober for you to check in. I also know we have some NaNoWriMo rebels and some other people who are editing a book one to prep to write a book two. So how's everything going? Yes, a lot to do for the channel, and you are rocking it. Don't forget, you have a lot of people that you could bounce ideas off if I'm a question away, a message away, basically. And then Melissa's saying, you've got your outline done-ish. Oh, saving the cat. Good option. Good option. Now, what is everyone using tools-wise is another question I had. I'm using Sarah Cannon's Preptober workbook for the outline. And then you all saw me in that vlog use Tarot for Writers to give myself some notes and things. So what are the different tools we're all using? If you all have any questions while we're working, please feel welcome to ask. And let me emphasize, it's not just me who's allowed to answer, okay? I am not the guru at the front of the class. I am one of y'all learning how to do this in a sandbox too, to some degree. And therefore, we all can answer, is my opinion. Jess is editing some of your notes for Nano to help you write. And that's another good use for this time. Do I need to prep and edit notes? Because you may have, like in my case, I have some leftover scenes I didn't use in book one. Are they fitting in book two? Also applies. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to run 2 sprints at least. I'm probably only going to run for an hour or a little over to wrap us up. We're going to have a longer chat break in between, okay? So seriously, ask questions. This is like a workshop space, essentially. Writing sprints have that quality to them, but I really want this to be a space where you can be like, hey guys, I need a character name. Hey guys, I need help with ideas for researching blank. This is the perfect forum to open those up and ask each other and whatnot. So if you're working during this opening sprint we're going to do and you have questions, feel welcome to bounce them off of everybody in the room. the workbook Mel's using for the outline. You think, there's a certain deck that I cannot say the name of that you have that would be intriguing for some of your characters potentially. Another thing that somebody else suggested I try, I didn't do it for this one, but I'm saying this because Rita's in the audience. Somebody I know took this and used the concept of this, but 2 character POVs. One character got the Moonology manifestation deck, and the other one got the Oracle deck. Do you see how it's kind of similar thematics? So I was suggested to also use 2 tarot decks that are similar, and that's when I found out about the before and the after tarot. If you haven't heard of those decks, let me know. I'll link them. They're so cool. You are very welcome. You're very welcome. I'm holding another one on the 15th after your Sunday sprints. Heads up. It was originally virtual writing retreat weekend because I mistook virtual writing retreat weekend for the wrong weekend. Jess is using the occupation thesaurus. I love this tool for ideas and for jobs that would fit your story. That's a good idea. Another good space for this, if you don't have this thesaurus, another ingenious resource, census data. Top 100 jobs according to census data in X state, X country. Also could get you similar data. You're very well. I'm hoping to keep it interesting. Thank you for putting it on the calendar. And I'm going to go ahead and you know the title. You know the title. All right. Let's go ahead and get into our first sprint. Pause. So if you have any questions while we're working, please ask. Bounce ideas off of each other. And if need be, I can fetch a link. I am going to get the links to the before and the after tarot for both, for everyone in the audience, so you can see what I mean by that. And I'll see you here in 3, 2, 1. Cowboy Bebop's here too. Let's jam. All right, I just tossed pause, Mr. Wizard. We're not obeying your 5-minute timer. This might take longer, and that's okay. So, how'd it go, first of all, everybody? How that first little work with your items to edit with them or on your Preptober things, how did it go? I had a question for all of you. I'm trying to add some new to me things to watch during NaNoWriMo. I have a lot of like stuff to rewatch to keep my head in the world, but the question I asked is for a reason. So lend a girl a hand if you don't mind. We have some new people who joined us. Mama Maggie, hello, hello, hello. It's actually your doing, my dear, that I even know about this book. So I can add the link to Corrine Kenner's Tarot for Writers in chat, but you should also go over to Mama Maggie's channel and look at the videos she's done in the past using this book. They're amazing. Thank you for doing them, my dear. Kay's here. Hello, hello. Melissa's on the hunt for the plotting tools. How did that go for you, my friend? Thank you for the check on the like button. And I literally forgot I sent that to you. I'm glad you're enjoying it. I did also link the before tarot and the after tarot along with the links. So the before tarot shows tarot readers and collectors the scenes that take place immediately before the image is rendered in the Rider-Waite-Smith tarot deck. So if you're thinking of the whole mindset of like how in older paintings they would call them tableaus, frozen moments in time, right? So this is the frozen moment in time that could be before the traditional read, and there's the link of where you can find it so you can get a gist of what it looks like. Feel welcome to use any tailor. I just know Amazon has it. Not all retailers do. And then the after tarot is what it sounds like. It's the same thing, but after. It explores the cards that are the moments that could supposedly be after that. And I've seen some people use these decks to write stories in like Act 1 gets only your before. Then in Act 2, you draw 2 cards because part 1, part 2, right? And then in Act 3, you could use the after tarot. That's kind of possibly where I'm also considering going. Rita has a question for the crowd, it looks like. Revising witches, any thoughts on dream sequences? At the beginning of this chapter, I'm assuming it's Kaylee is dreaming, but the reader doesn't know it's a dream until she awakens from this dream. And the following 3 dreams are connected from a previous chapter, like through spell work with runes. And this dream could be considered later considered visions because they all happen in a series. I know some people think that dream sequences, it depends on your genre. I use them. I mean, I literally have astral mages in my books. They can't exactly, the good ones can't control and manipulate your dreams. We'll word it that way. But it's kind of like dream magic. So I think it's an old school cool concept to play with in new ways. Mind you, I'm also from the generation that grew up playing Super Mario Brothers 2 USA version, which was basically a fever dream, if you know the lore behind that. And so I say if it fits, use it, but focus in on what you said here. The way you're using it is a discovery for the reader and for the character. So maybe only make sure only it affects that character. Otherwise, it might lose its uniqueness. Feedback in chat, join in, feel free. Mama Maggie will probably use the Marigold Tarot or Crystal Visions Tarot. They're beautiful. They're so beautiful. You need to finish Spring and the MBA. Ooh. When is this one coming out? Next spring? It being punny. Not intending the pun. So, Jess, are we back, my friend? Oh, while we're all settling in and catching up, I did want to announce, thank you all for voting. We did settle on a final name for that everyone was voting on. I will go ahead and put a note to that up on my YouTube channel's community tab later today. Ty, hello. Glad to have you here off from work. We're going to do one more sprint. If you have any questions while you're wanting some help or things of that nature, let us know. Let us know in chat. We're kind of workshopping during this sprint a little bit. Jess, your back as easy as you fix your grandpa. There you go. Grandpa, all taken care of. Question, do you suggest using the tarot for writers during the outline process? Either. Because for me, they can overlap now. Some people will separate like their outlining from their plotting. I'm starting to intertwine them now to where I can kind of make 2 steps and I'm done. Like, this is plotting more than outlining to me. So I guess that also goes to a question of, does it depend on to what degree are you a plotter, pantster, or plantster? I'm a plantster, so outlining is when I need it at this point. Other feedback, other thoughts. Let's see. Thank you, Mama Maggie, for sharing the link. Rita, you have that tarot book. You have yet to use it, but you've browsed it. It was a gift from the same good friend in that way. And I was also asking for other movies like The Truman Show that I could add to my watch list. You feel old now? What? Is that an old movie? It's a good movie. Come on. Young adult fantasy totally could play with dreams because this, like a lot of the young adult, even older, what I would call young adult fantasy, I consider to a degree Narnia YA fantasy. Some people consider it middle grade. I think it's a little dark for middle grade. Thank you. It depends on, I only say that as a reading teacher. It depends on the maturity level psychologically of your reader to handle it. So young adult fantasy, yeah, you can play with the dream world. Why not? Why not? You're very welcome. The characters don't have their friends with them in the dreams or the real event. That's a good thing to make sure that stays clear. Mama Maggie wrote the entire card on the table. That's right. That's right. Thank you. I thought it was last August. This past August. Thank you for sharing that. Oh, I can speed run this still to this day. Come on. We also had a ColecoVision and an Atari in my house growing up too. If you know ColecoVision, you are my peeps. Using tarot to add a twist to character quirks. Yes. And that's one thing I loved about Corinne Kenner's book also is she gives you ideas. Like if you have writer's block, you can draw a card and get like, here's some symbols that are on the card. Or like, for example, if you draw a card and they're holding a torch, one of your symbols might be flashlight because one, that's what they call a flashlight in other parts of the world is torch. Also, it's a modern torch. So I used to kick some butt at Pong, lady. Yes, like I will admit, I grew up in the spoiled 90s kid era where we had an intermix of all the cool old games and all the cool new games. I will admit I was spoiled. Oregon Trail for the win. Still can't beat that game all the way through easily. Mama Maggie, ROTW had oracles, but they are figuring out what they see and what actually happens aren't always the same thing. Time is funny. Timey-wimey. Doctor Who rules, right? It can be fast and loose. This is true. Pong was until it gets too fast. Yep. If you've never seen, there is a walkthrough of the inventor of Pong playing Pong on the original machine on like the Smithsonian's website or something. You can find it on their YouTube channel. It's a fun video to watch. Jess, he accidentally triggered his security alarm by mistake. Oh no, Grandpa. And there was a blinking red. See, this is why I could never be one of those little old ladies who has like a medical alert bracelet. I'm sorry. I was headbanging too hard, sir. I kid you not. I headbang. It would not work. Not even the bracelet ones because I'm typing all the time. Just saying. Okay. You just broke Jenna. Congratulations, you just broke me. Now that the obligatory Oregon Trail poop joke is over, I think we need to get into a second sprint. Y'all went right for the poop joke. Really? All right, y'all. If you have any other questions, I'll see you in the chat. All right, Mr. Music Man. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, everybody. First of all, save your work. Fast and foremost, save your work. If you are handwriting, I would like to say that taking a picture counts as saving your work, apparently. I've had many students turn in handwritten work by taking a picture I could read, put it that way. So if it works, it works. Alrighty, everybody. So any other questions or as we run through, let us know. Andy did stop in to say hello there along with Jody Jean. I agree with Mel. You totally deserved the sleep. And naps are so worth it, and we approve of the rest. Hello there, my friend. It's good to see you. I had a question here that for the chat just to share and to think about. Thoughts on your own characters making cameos in your own books, but not like outside of the series they belong to. And it's funny that you make this comparison because the character, she says this, and the character that would be the one making the cameo laughs his head off and says, yes, that's what it feels like. So I think this is appropriate here. In a different series, a different world, maybe manageable. He's a vampire, so yeah, it could be cool. I'm going to play with it and see what happens. If he's going to be like the Stan Lee cameo character, he likes that. Jess. See, this is what I was trying to remember. I knew one of her characters did. I couldn't remember who. I think you're right. I think you're right. Rita confirms, yes, thank you, but more his story. Yes, this is Frey ends up in the main series. He's book 3. Plus he has a spin-off book that's a book within a book. I'll explain that when I work on it way later. But he ends up being the only liaison between the human and the immortal realm, because what's going on in Vitae Atlantica is what the humans visually interpret as the war for magic, that is literally just only the immortals waging it this time. Humans are not part of the war. They're bystanders to it, but still being affected, if that makes sense. Jess, you're very, very welcome. It's the only example. See, that's what I was trying to think of too. RC Metal. Thank you for stopping in. I think you just stops in just so I'll do the voice and really test whether or not I can growl. Ow, that hurt. That was a little too low. Jess, personally, you think readers really get attached to the field? See, and he's that character, I think. That's a good point. If they're the character you think you'll love, lean into it. There you go. Use a whole spread. See, I wasn't using like a whole tarot spread, but a 10-card draw does technically tell a story according to tarot. That's a good point. I never thought of it like that. That's a good point. Rita, you added some more chapters and details to your maps, jotted down. Hey, that's a good thing to use the edits for. Your maps are amazing. Are we getting more pictures of them and things like that? Could totally see Jovian showing up in the... Oh, yes. See, now I'm wondering how this would work. Would you give yourself a co-author note even though you have both pen names then? Because I'm doing it under one pen name. You see what I mean? I wonder how that would work. I'm curious now. I'm really curious. You did a word search book of... There you go. Thank you. And Sarah mentioned her new book is going... I know. I'm so excited. I can't wait to read. Answer, you have 2 contemporary fairies, Pagosa Cliffs, and Devoted Sisters. And yes, that's right. They get mentions. See, my original note for Frey was he's like the Sid Highwind character that shows up in every Final Fantasy game. He's kind of your quest giver trope character is what the role would be. That's why Stan Lee worked. He's kind of a quest giver trope. Rita, so then it's all in the same world. You've seen that before. Okay, so it does make sense. You draw 3 cards per chapter when using tarot to write. It, for me, depends on either if it's something I need to know about the enemy or about the world, it's 1 card. Otherwise, I draw 1 POV and I do essentially try to get 2 scenes out of a draw, basically. Rita, yes to the maps. Eve, whoa, yes. I can't wait for the video. I can't wait for the video. That's going to be so much fun to see. Confession. Oh. Is that what it kind of feels like? Not really. See, I don't know if it's fan fictioning my own stuff or if I'm just, the world was big, like stumbling into some anime metaverses when you watch 1 episode on a Saturday morning because you had no clue what you stumbled into. That's kind of how I feel. Jess, yep, and all of the shadow world are parts. Yes. That's awesome. I've never thought of doing that. It's an idea. So we are going to go ahead and wind down. If you have any other questions, this will be the final time to pop any story, share, idea, questions in chat. I am doing another one of these on the 15th earlier in the day. I wanted to do 1 evening, 1 midday. And then, of course, I am doing my normal writing sprints as what you're used to usual on Friday and Saturday. I think, what's this Tuesday? Calendar. Look at my Google Calendar. Okay. So last month I did this video that was 5 lies you need to stop telling yourself before Preptober. Part 2, 5 lies you need to stop telling yourself before NaNoWriMo comes out on Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern. So check it out. Thank you all for being here. We're going to go ahead and wrap up. If you have any questions, let me know. I do have tons of slots open for editing and for coaching. And if you contact me by Halloween, you can lock in my pricing for my old system when my new system comes into play. Awesome. So I hope you enjoy. Hugs to the family. And as always, thanks for being here. Take care of yourselves. I know you're worth it. And if you're believing them lies people are telling you, we need to have a conversation. Bye.